Hello and welcome to the Notorious 14. I am Chad and I'd like to present to you today part 2 of the series of me going through George Eberhart's book, Mysterious Creatures. If you guys are interested in following me along in this series, I'm going to drop the link to Amazon so you guys can buy the book. Without all that being said, I'd like to say that I'm not very good at pronunciating some of the words of the cryptids and some of the locations, so just bear with me. I'll try my best. With all that being said, let's get into the video. The Afanc. The Afanc is a lake monster from Welsh mythology that has been described to resemble a crocodile, beaver, and even a shape-shifting demon. The beast is said to lay in wait for anyone who is foolish enough to swim in the lake. Legend has it that the creature was trapped when a maiden allowed it to rest on her lap. When the creature was resting, the villagers of a nearby town surrounded it and attempted to tie it up. The creature woke up in a fury and killed the maiden and several villagers. The beast was finally put to rest when Sir Percival of the Knights of the Round Table killed the beast. The Afannia. Described as being a man-like beast, the Afannia was spotted by 6 teenage boys who were out on a fishing trip in 1988. They reported that they were followed for a few days by the Afannia and were even harassed in their cabin by the beast. They nicknamed the creature Afannia, which could have been a diminutive form of the name Afanasi, but the boys probably got the name from the title of a Russian movie, Afanya, which is about a plumber who spends his day drinking until he meets a nurse who makes him into a good citizen. A local game warden also reported seeing the Afanya. After the initial sighting, a team of researchers visited the area where the creature was spotted. They managed to catch a glimpse of the creature before it ran back into the woods. This was enough to motivate the researchers to return the following summer with more supplies. The lead researcher, Maya Bakova, was able to create a call that enticed the creature to come closer. On one occasion, she was able to lure the beast to the cabin where the boys stayed. On this trip, the team was able to capture audio recordings of the creature, several footprints, hair samples, and additional eyewitness testimonies. Many of the audio recordings were analyzed by Leonid Yershov and remain inconclusive to this day. The Agash Kishi. The Agash Kishi is yet another of the many reported wild men in Russia, described in very similar detail as the Abnau. The Agash Kishi resembles that of a prehistoric man. Sometimes they are even described as wearing clothes. This may sound surprising since many people seem to think that all wild men look more like a Sasquatch in appearance than that of a human. In his book, In the Footsteps of a Russian Snowman, Dmitry Bayanov postulates that the Abnau, the Agash Kichi, and many more wild men of Russia may be part of one species that is only separated by language barriers. The Agagwe. The Agagwe is a small human-like biped cryptid that has been reported in the dense forests of Tanzania in East Africa. Ranging from 4 to 5 feet, the Agagwe has been described as being adorned with brown hair covering its body. Captain William Hitchens reported seeing the creature in the 1920s. In the December 1937 edition of the journal Discovery, he writes, "Some years ago I was sent on an official lion hunt in this area, and while waiting in the forest glade for man-eater, I saw 2 small brown furry creatures come up from the dense forest on one side of the glade and disappear into the thickets on the other. They were like little men, about 4 feet high, walking upright but clad in russet hair. The native hunter with me gazed in mingled fear and amazement. They were," he said, "Agagwe, the little furry men whom one does not see once in a lifetime." After its initial publishing, the journal Discovery received a letter from Vintner Cuthbert Burgoyne, who described seeing a very similar creature in 1927. He recounted the time that he and his wife were on a Japanese cargo boat coasting along Portuguese East Africa. They were close enough to land to make out objects with a telescope. On the beach were walking 2 pure white baboons. Suddenly, 2 upright walking small humanoids walked out of the forest and toward the baboons. Burgoyne noted that they could not have been human since the baboons would have been scared away. Both men in the report said that the creature they witnessed could have been a monkey, but several other theories could also explain what the mysterious Agagwe is. Bernard Heuvelman purports in his book, Les Bêtises Humaines d'Afrique, that the Agagwe could be a surviving relic of the Australopithecus. With the findings of fossilized Australopithecus near the area of sighting, it could be feasible that the creature could still exist. In his encyclopedia, George Eberhart sums it up nicely. Since East Africa is the probable birthplace of early hominid species, its traditions of small, hairy men are tantalizing. The Agrios anthropos is a gorilla-like creature that has reports originating from western Libya. Sightings of the creature describe the animal as having long hair that covers its whole body. I have not been able to find a lot of information on the creature, and the only source mentioned in the encyclopedia is Aubrey de Selancourt's translation of Herodotus's The Histories. The leading theory of what the wild man could be is that the reports were a distortion of chimpanzee and gorilla sightings from southern Africa that migrated to Libya. The LEMMiNO, believed to be a sea serpent in the belief of the Barak people of New Ireland, Papua New Guinea. The LEMMiNO, meaning fish eel, is described as being 50 feet long with a head like a snake. It moves through the water with vertical undulations. It sports a frill on its greenish-gray back. There are two main reports of the LEMMiNO near Ramat Bay in New Ireland. The first report was by an unnamed witness in August 1958. They described 4 gray-green loops undulating out of the surface roughly 10 feet apart. No head was visible, but the witness reported a frill on the creature's back and a 2 feet long segmented tail. Several years later, on April 26, 1981, Bernie Gash and several members of his family reported seeing a creature roughly 600 to 900 feet away. They reported the same details as the eyewitness in 1958, but they were also able to get a description of the creature's python-like head, 10 to 15 feet long and 2 feet wide. That is a massive head. After the head was submerged underneath the ocean, several humps broke the surface of the water. Several theories of the creature ranged from many humped sea serpents to misidentification of a family of whales. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. The Ahul. The Ahul is a giant bat-like creature that inhabits the mountains in the western part of Java. The locals named the creature after its terrifying call, Ahul. Its habitat ranges from Java all the way to Papua New Guinea, where many reports of the ropin, a very similar giant bat-like cryptid, have been filed. The two most well-known reports are attributed to naturalist Dr. Ernest Bartels, who has claimed to come in contact with a Ahul on 2 separate occasions. The first occasion took place in 1925 when he was exploring a waterfall on the Salek Mountains when a giant bat flew above his head. He was unable to get a good look at the creature as it was moving too fast for him to get notes on any discernible features. In 1927, Bartels was sleeping in his thatched house when he was awoken by a peculiar call of an animal he has never heard before. He noted that the creature's call sounded like, "Oh." Thank you for watching part 2 of this series. I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get it out to you. Life just got in the way for a little bit, and there was summer and I was enjoying outdoor activities. I'm glad to say that I am back at creating more videos, so there's a couple I have planned to be released in the near future, so I'll definitely stay tuned for that. And if you're not, please subscribe to this channel so you won't miss those videos. And to you guys who are subscribed, just remember that you were here at the beginning, and I have a lot more plans for this channel. Thank you for the support, and until the next video, you guys have a great day. Bye.